Hello gamers, I am here to make the video of all time on the new Sonic Frontiers update. Is it gonna be a good or a bad video? Well, you're gonna have to just stick around and see. Oh, frick. I don't feel like doing another take of this. So basically, the new Sonic Frontiers update just kind of got announced and released kind of out of nowhere, and it's pretty good. I pretty much like it. What? Alright, so I don't actually know entirely how to do a proper intro for this video, so I'm just gonna start with the most basic of the things added. Collectible music that you can play wherever you want on the islands, except for when there's a guardian, when you're in cyberspace, when there's a cutscene. You know what, close enough. Anyways, it's a pretty cool feature to add to the game. It gave me some more incentive to actually revisit the open zone, which I didn't really have before after finishing the game because there's like no replay value to the open zone. And after collecting all the music, there's not going to be a replay value to the open zone again, but that's what Update 2 is supposed to be for. I really like how all the music that you collect in the game is from older games and not Sonic Frontiers. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really like Sonic Frontiers soundtrack, but I'm already listening to Sonic Frontiers soundtrack and playing Sonic Frontiers. If I want to play different music, I'm probably not going to be playing music from Frontiers. Again, I don't hate the music, but whatever, I think you get what I mean by now. Anyways, here's my song choices for every island because I feel like it. For Kronos Island, I use Mystic Ruins because, like, come on, who isn't? For Ares Island, I use Dusty Desert, which is, again, a popular choice, but come on, like, it fits so well. However, for the little miniature levels that you can find in Ares Island, Arid Sands Day is perfect for those. For Chaos Island, I use Sky Road because it's above the clouds, and that's pretty cool. This song also makes a lot of 2D sections in Chaos Island a lot more bearable, as the fast pace of the song really encourages me to speed through all of the obstacle courses as fast as I can. For Rhea and Orinus Island, I really like to use Deep Woods. The song fits both the environment and the tone of the story at that point in the game, and it just works perfectly. Being able to play all of these faster-paced songs in the open zone makes me realize that the next Sonic game will really need some adaptive music or something. The open zone's music already does a great job fitting whatever you're doing in the game, even if it's not fast-paced music per se, but the open zone's music kind of lacks that fast-paced energy that kind of pushes you forward. So I think it'd be a really good idea to have the open zone's music be slow-paced by default, but have it get more built up and faster-paced the faster you go and the more platforming you do. Also, kind of unrelated to the actual update, but the launch trailer for this update not playing the music that's shown to be selected in the trailer really annoyed me way more than it should have. Like, you're advertising all of these songs from past games that you can play whenever in the open zone, yet you're just playing the same cyberspace track in the background. I'm pretty sure this song isn't Live and Learn. Alright, so next up we have to talk about photo mode, and it's pretty good. I mean, it could be a lot better. It's kind of just above bare minimum, which works and is still definitely fun to use, but like, I was kind of hoping it would be something kind of like a Hat in Time's photo mode or something. You know, letting us choose our own poses, having stickers for us to place onto the camera, depth of field, maybe even changing the time of day for the photo. That's not even mentioning the weird collision that Sonic Frontiers' camera mode has. I get that you don't want it to clip into walls and floors and stuff, but maybe make the camera's hitbox just a bit smaller, please. It seems overly big. And now we're on the cyberspace challenge, and if I'm being honest, the more time that passes, the more I just dislike the cyberspace levels. 1-2 is fine enough, but that's only really because it's the only cyberspace level that really makes the S rank challenging. So you can imagine how much I didn't really like cyberspace when I had to play multiple levels of it in a row, with no open zone in between any of it. Yeah, basically in Cyberspace Challenge you have to play through every cyberspace level in a row from a certain island. And it's just not fun at all because there's no challenge to getting an S rank. Because of how forgiving the S ranks are, all you really have to do is play with the brain for the first like 5 levels and then you'll be set for the last few levels, even if you mess up like 5 times on them. Oh, and did I mention that the last cyberspace challenges all of the cyberspace levels in a row and it takes 30 minutes. And because of how easy the S ranks are here, it's 30 minutes spent just kind of going through the motions. Well, that's 30 minutes of my life down the drain. Spent playing cyberspace. Kill me. Also, unrelated to Cyberspace Challenge, but still related to cyberspace, y'all know the whole homing dash thing? The magnet dash is such a better name for it, but I guess Sonic Team has spoken. But anyways, if you use a homing dash at all on a cyberspace level, the game calls you out on it, with a little Twitter users please bully me mark right next to your final time. Also, speaking of homing dashes, I made a whole level mod based around the whole mechanic, and you should definitely go play it. This is a shameful plug. Anyways, what do you get for beating Cyberspace Challenge? You get the option to use the power boost in the cyberspace levels. Just another reason for me to hop into cyberspace, that's definitely what I wanted. Jokes aside, this reward is fine. It's kinda just fine. Sonic feels a bit better to control in cyberspace with this on, but that just makes me wonder why his controls weren't like this to begin with. Anyways, I think it's now time to start talking about Battle Rush, which is definitely my favorite addition in this new update. Basically, defeat all enemy types from a certain island as fast as you can, and it's pretty fun. It really encourages you to figure out what moves work best against certain enemies to take them down the quickest, and mowing them down, especially at level 99 once you figure that all out, is really satisfying and fun. And just like the Cyberspace Challenge, after beating every individual island's Battle Rush, you unlock the All Islands Battle Rush, which this time I actually enjoy, unlike the All Islands Cyberspace Challenge. The All Islands for this is also pretty long, with 30 minutes being the S rank time, but at least it's actually engaging and I'm having fun throughout. There are 2 problems I have with this mode though. The first one is the weird optimization, especially with the Titan fights. I never had any issues playing these normally, but whenever I played them in Battle Rush, the FPS kinda tanked. I thought maybe it's just my PC, but when looking up other people's playthroughs of the update, they were having the same problem. Some of them might have even been playing on console. My second problem is that there's kind of a lot of waiting here. In between battles, you'll be waiting quite a bit, and it just kinda gets tiring. I know it has to load, so I'm not gonna knock it on the loading thing, but after finishing a battle, the game will just kind of wait 1 or 2 seconds before you're starting to load the next battle. And then once you enter the next battle, if you're fighting a Guardian, you'll have to wait for its title card before playing. So adding all of that up, that's around 58 seconds of waiting on the All Islands challenge, and that's just counting the title cards. It really makes the Battle Rush feel kinda slow at times. But what do you get for beating the Battle Rush All Islands, I'm hearing you say? Well, I'm not actually even really hearing you say that, and I doubt you'd actually say that, because I'm sure you'd be at least somewhat patient and wouldn't be the person to swipe to the next video because it's too boring within the first 2 seconds. Anyways, beating the All Islands Battle Rush gives you Extreme Mode, and it's pretty alright. I mean, like, it's fun, but it could have been a lot more, but whatever, it's still fun, I guess. Basically, you're no longer able to upgrade any of Sonic's stats, and he dies in 1 hit. AKA, I hope you like the power boost, because after you reach max rings, you're not going to be able to disable that power boost. Dying and being reset to your last save doesn't even deplete all your rings. This definitely isn't an extreme mode though, it's honestly more akin to just a normal hard mode, because outside of what I mentioned, the game doesn't really do much to make the game super hard. Heck, on Kronos Island you can barely even feel the 1-hit kill change because, well, all of the enemies die in 1 hit. You'd have to be trying to get hit by one of these guys. Seriously, to kill all of the enemies in a certain area, all you have to do is just spam the humming attack. The Guardians, however, are still kinda easy, at least on Kronos Island. Sure, I guess they're harder in a sense because you die in 1 hit, but also I'm rarely getting hit by these bosses anymore. So maybe that's my fault for having 100 hours in the game. Although to even unlock this mode, you do have to be pretty familiar with all of the Guardian and Titan fights, so I still don't know if these Island 1 Guardians are still going to pose much of a challenge to most people. Although there is one pretty hard bit of Kronos Island, and it's the hardest part of Extreme Mode in general, the Gigano fight. They made the first Titan fight the hardest, while the other ones feel almost the same. Wonderful. The first phase of Giganto really isn't that bad, but you do need to watch out for his slaps. Wait, what? Where's his death animation? He just stands there and the game over starts. Yeah, one thing worth mentioning is that this mode feels pretty unpolished. And not in the jank, buggy kind of unpolished, though I'm sure it is at points still. But more so just the, I didn't try to add any polish to this kind of polish, if that makes sense. Like, look at Supersonic's death animation, or lack thereof. There's nothing there. He just continues to float in the air while the game over starts. They don't even reuse an old, like, QT death animation. It honestly kind of feels modded in at a lot of points, and it's not even to diss mods, because I'm pretty sure mods have actually made better extreme modes than Sega has, but modders have limitations with what they can do with the game as of right now. But Sonic Team really doesn't. They have the source code of the game, they can edit pretty much anything about it. But anyways, back onto the Giganto fight. Yeah, it's pretty hard and it's pretty good. You have to be on your toes throughout the entire fight and especially be ready to parry or else you'll just die. The rest of the islands, except for Oranos, don't really have much interesting to talk about in terms of extreme mode. They kind of just feel the same but slightly harder. And especially the Titan fights feel the same, except for Giganto, which I just talked about. I'm pretty sure the rockets on the Wyvern can kill you in one hit here, but I'm just holding down parry the entire time anyways, so they don't really pose much of a threat. And also, they didn't change the parry window in extreme mode, so you can still just kind of hold it down. However, starting with this fight, and especially the night fight, I start to really question what this game counts as a hit. Like, on the night fight, I got hit multiple times and just didn't die? Like, none of them counted as a hit. I guess that would kill me, and I don't know why. So, basically, the difficulty of all of the bosses except the first one is kind of just the same. And yes, this includes Supreme, because his yellow diamond things that he shoots at you don't do any damage either, just knock you back. I don't know guys, it seems like Sonic Team ran out of time with this one again. Anyways, before I talk about Oranos, I need to tell you about Big. I'm pretty sure most of you by now know that Big in the normal modes of Sonic Frontiers is basically a god. His prices are low and after some Starfall events, he's really easy to just get into and fish for a while. So what'd they do for Extreme Mode? Did they make him actually balanced? Nope, instead they made Big absolutely useless again and everyone hates him again. Look at these prices, no one's ever gonna get like more than 2 memory tokens for this. And Big being terrible makes Oranos Island even worse than it already was. Cause now I can't choose my way through Oranos Island, or heck, I can't even use Big to get at least a small bit of the work done on Oranos Island, so I gotta do everything myself now. And because of all of the really high prices Oranos has for pretty much everything, it makes Oranos kind of a nightmare. Oranos just drags on forever, and you'll spend forever looking for memory tokens and forever in the cyberspace levels trying to get the vault keys, and oh hey, cyberspace isn't actually that bad in extreme mode. Yeah, for real. They made the S ranks a lot harder, and honestly, it's a lot more fun. I still get tired of cyberspace pretty quickly, but however when I am playing it, I'm having a lot more fun with the levels. The new S ranks really kind of make you try as hard as you can on these levels and make you look at them in a completely different way than you did before. Previously, we only really had this with 1-2, so it's nice to see harder S ranks now. Going for all the missions and playing all of these though was still painful during Oranos Island. I should probably also mention that by Ares Island on this playthrough, I was already feeling pretty tired of playing Sonic Frontiers. I can't imagine why I was feeling pretty tired of playing Sonic Frontiers. It was only my 5th time playing it all the way through within 4 months. But anyways, you can imagine my pain when Oranos hit and dragged on even more than it did already in the base modes. But yeah, it was not a fun time. Who knows though, maybe I'll get some sort of reward for beating the game on extreme difficulty like I did for beating the Battle Rush and Cyberspace Challenge. Or maybe they even revamped the final boss to be actually good in this update. I mean, the game's director, Morio Kishimoto, replied to a Twitter post suggesting what they could do with the final boss to make it, you know, a bit better in any of the future updates. Oh yeah, Sega probably hates this game's director now for talking so much about Sonic on Twitter. He's been so transparent about the game on Twitter that I'm genuinely starting to get worried about whether or not we'll have him as the director on the next Sonic game. Please direct the next Sonic game. Sonic Frontiers was actually good. But yeah, this guy has actively talked about the game's development on Twitter. He's listened to a lot of fan feedback on Twitter. He accidentally leaked a potentially in-development 2D modern Sonic game, supposedly, if you ask the Sonic community. He's purposefully leaked the addition of the spin dash for Update 2. Wait, what? Yeah, so people data mined Update 1 and found 1, a spin dash animation, and 2, tip text for how to use the spin dash, which seems to potentially be taken from a fan suggestion, so that's cool. Someone added Kishimoto on Twitter about the unused tip text, and he straight up just said that it is something they worked on and are still working on, and that they weren't able to get it out for Update 1. Yeah, he just did that. And man, what are you doing? Ain't this under NDA? NDA is just a word! Anyways, to answer my question from earlier, nope, there's nothing you get for even being the boss battle, and the boss is like the same difficulty, and ugh. So overall, a pretty good update. I liked everything except for cyberspace, and except for extreme mode, but I only really disliked extreme mode because I was going insane from playing the game for a 5th time, so that's really more so on me.